From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Grizzly bear populations are up in Montana, and Fish, Wildlife and Parks has a plan for dealing with the big predators. Just ahead, find out how that it could include a hunting season.
I never ever thought that it'd be possible to own a house in Bozeman.
At 6:40, learn about the new local development helping people afford a place of their own in Bozeman.
The red-hot real estate market is cooling down. I'm Cristian Benavides with a look at why home sales are sinking.
6:30 on this Thursday. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. Rather December-like morning out there, depending on where you are. Coats, hats, gloves required.
And since the beginning of November, we have had almost exclusively below average temperatures.
Right.
So we are really setting the stage for a very cold and productive snow season here in Montana. Early morning temperatures are very cold to start the morning. Once again, below zero in Butte and Belgrade, 7 degrees in West Yellowstone, almost balmy down there. Montana Hall lit up. Man, that is if that's not a sign of the season, I don't know what is. It looks like our daytime highs, while starting off cold, are trying to warm up into the 20s. Still below average. We have kind of a deep hole to dig ourselves out of, or I guess Mother Nature does. She doesn't care, I can tell you that. But there are some snow chances in the forecast. We're going to break them all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, she's kind of apathetic about that, isn't she?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, 6:31, our top story is breaking news this morning. White House confirms U.S. basketball star Brittany Griner has been freed from a Russian prison in a prisoner exchange. CBS's Tina Kraus has the latest from London.
WNBA star Brittany Griner has been released from Russian custody in a prisoner swap. The Russians gave up Griner in exchange for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, who was serving prison time in the U.S. Sources tell CBS News the high-stakes swap happened today at a neutral location in the United Arab Emirates that both the U.S. and Russia had agreed on. Russian officials publicly signaled their willingness to engage in prisoner swap negotiations after Griner was sentenced to 9 years in prison on drug charges.
I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to put in jeopardy the Russian population. I never meant to break any laws.
Griner's lawyers argued she had mistakenly brought vape cartridges in her luggage containing less than a gram of cannabis oil back in February. Her release comes after many months of pressure from U.S. officials who urged the Kremlin to set her free. Earlier this year, former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed returned home after spending more than 2 years in a Russian jail on assault charges. In exchange, the U.S. released Russian pilot Konstantin Yaroshenko, a convicted drug smuggler. Griner had been serving time in one of Russia's labor camps, notorious for its harsh treatment of inmates. She will now undergo a health check at a U.S. military base before returning home to the U.S. just in time for the holidays. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Now, of course, CBS Mornings has a lot more information on this release. We'll be able to see all of that beginning at 7 o'clock this morning. Back here at home now, leaders with the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife and Parks have unveiled a new draft plan for managing grizzly bears, and they're asking the public for your thoughts. TN's senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian takes a closer look at what the plan calls for.
Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks says as grizzly bears expand their presence across Montana, it's important to have an updated plan to guide management while the species remains listed as threatened, and lay out a future policy in case grizzlies are eventually federally delisted. The draft plan calls grizzlies a species that will always require intensive management, and one prone to conflict. Until now, the state has had 2 separate plans, one for western Montana and one for southwest Montana. But leaders say grizzlies now occupy many areas outside the original recovery zones, so it's time for a statewide policy. The plan doesn't set a statewide population goal. FWP argues grizzlies have reached their recovery targets in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem and the Northern Continental Divide, and they support plans for reaching the goal in the Cabinet Yaak area. The plan says they'll support connectivity between those populations, but they'll be ready to recommend controls on bears in areas that don't contribute to that when conflicts occur, particularly east of the identified habitats. FWP also said if grizzlies are delisted, they'll be prepared to consider a, quote, small in scope hunting season, though they acknowledged not all Montanans would be supportive of the plan. They said any hunting would be in line with their commitment to maintain a thriving population of grizzlies. FWP is set to answer questions about the plan at an online webinar on December 15th. They'll be accepting public comments online through January 5th. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
In other news this morning, according to the Montana Department of Transportation, there have been 7 snowplows involved in accidents this winter season. On average, around 24 snowplows are damaged in accidents each year. Now, while it's not illegal to pass a plow in Montana, DOT's Equipment Bureau Chief Walt Kurtula says that's how the majority of the plow-related accidents actually occur.
It's good to be really careful passing plows. There's no law against passing plows, but a lot of our hits this year have been either front-end hits and or side hits. People trying to pass a plow, lost control of the vehicle, and then slid into the truck.
Department says labor shortages continue to be a huge issue impacting plow drivers, so damaged trucks only make it harder to remove snow and ice from state highways.
When we have trucks down, it takes time to repair them, and it's hard to get parts. It's expensive. And then, the guys in the shop have to take the time to fix it. So it all, having the truck down can impact how we clear roads and how quickly we can do it.
Kurtula recommends leaving extra time being prepared on days when winter driving conditions are expected. You may also notice green flashing lights on some snowplows this season. New state law authorizes that. MDT says studies in other states show the green lights make snowplows easier to see. 6:36 now. A federal judge has ruled that a COVID public health order must end by mid-December at our southern border. That order, known as Title 42, has allowed the Trump and Biden administrations to remove migrants more quickly since 2020. While the Biden administration is vowing to appeal the ruling, that won't be the only border issue taking place in the coming days. The new Republican-led House promising an increase in funding for border security come January. But what do Border Patrol agents actually want to do their jobs better? Our Jose George takes a closer look.
Perhaps nowhere in the country is the border debate easier to understand visually than here in Yuma, Arizona. Near the border wall, you don't have to go far to find abandoned shoes from migrants who attempted to cross into the United States illegally. And the wall is part of the visual political debate, too. This portion of the wall has been up for years, but gaps existed by design. Gaps the Biden administration says they're working to fix. But President Biden didn't move fast enough for the Republican governor here. So what did he do? He put shipping containers up to fill those gaps. The political debate over our southern border will only intensify in the coming days. Incoming Republican leadership has said when they take over the House on January 3rd, their first bill will be about the border, and an increase in border activity is expected soon. A federal judge has ruled that by December 21st, something known as Title 42 must end, which removed many asylum seekers right away during the pandemic. The Biden administration announced on Wednesday that they're appealing that ruling.
I know you don't play politics, but what do you guys need as we go forward?
Law enforcement, in particular border security, is not easy.
On a recent visit to the border, we were curious, what do Chief Border Patrol Agent Chris Klim and others like him actually want from the new Congress? On paper, funding and changes at the border are more likely to happen come January. Republicans campaigned heavily on the issue.
We need congressional support to continue the investments that we've been making.
Klim tells me the most significant action Congress can take is to continue to allocate resources so we can continue to hire contractors to process paperwork so his agents can patrol more. Those shipping containers are already on track to be upgraded soon. He says the gaps were originally there over environmental concerns, such as the impact on wildlife crossings. Klim made clear to us, though, better pay for his agents would be nice.
Is it hard to recruit right now?
It's a challenge. The law enforcement profession has taken a hit over the last several years.
Republican leaders in the House won't be able to pass new funding on their own. They'll need Democrats and President Biden, too. In order to get that, negotiations over upgrading immigration laws will have to occur. Klim says that's desperately needed, too.
We are still currently operating under 1986 and 1990 fundamental immigration laws.
In Yuma, Arizona, I'm Joe St. George.
Back here at home now, housing prices have skyrocketed across southwest Montana, and that's leaving many people unable to buy a home. A new development in Bozeman, though, looks to change that. MTN's Edgar Cedillo introduces us to one family who just moved in.
John Meyer and his family rented in Bozeman for about 5 years. In those 5 years, they decided it was finally time to find something of their own. So here in this new development on the north side of Bozeman, they were finally able to find a home that they can call their own.
I need more dirt.
My wife actually decided that we need to move into our own house. I thought there's no way that we can ever afford to live in Bozeman.
John, his wife Amanda, and twin boys Rex and Wiley are settling into their new home. But if you asked Meyer a year ago if he would own his own home, he wouldn't have believed you.
Trying to find a house that's big enough to fit 4 people and affordable is virtually impossible.
But that all changed when they applied to get a home at Bridgerview, a development that sells homes at nearly half the price of the current rate.
It feels like we hit the lottery.
This is a 3-bedroom home. Bridgerview was always intended to be a mixed income neighborhood and to incorporate some level of affordability into this space.
Courtney Nauman is the stewardship manager for Headwaters Community Housing Trust, the group who is helping people get into the below market rate homes. She says the development is intended for families like the Myers who work in Bozeman but can't afford Bozeman prices.
Folks that can't afford prices where they are right now at market rate, but who make middle income salaries and don't have other opportunities.
You ready to set the around one more?
Now with their home decorated for Christmas and enough toys to go around, the family has a place of their own where they can play together.
I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be living this life. I'm really grateful for everything we've been given.
The development of the neighborhood is expected to be completed sometime by next fall. In Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
Now, for those who are interested in qualifications and possibly applying, we do have a link for that on our website. On the national scene, in a related story, housing hit a peak during the pandemic and sellers saw their home prices soar. Now the market is dropping because of high interest rates. CBS's Christian Benavides has more.
Patrick Kennedy recently moved into a new home, and it's a long time coming. He started looking at houses a year ago when the market was red hot.
Compare and contrast what it was like looking for a place a year ago.
Everything that's nice and that's attractive to the majority of buyers, you would see them on the market and gone, under contract a day later.
Kennedy's realtor, David Gunther, says things have changed since then.
The interest rates maybe are pulling buyers back a little bit, but it's also afforded a buyer who is strong with their financing. They could approach a property. They're not competing with the rest of the world.
Mortgage rates are now just under 6.5%, which is down from 7% last month, but more than double from 1 year ago.
There's not as many buyers. These higher interest rates are having buyers sit on the sidelines saying, we'll wait and see.
Realtor Melanie Heyer worked with would-be buyer Celia Polhemus. She wants a new home, but the thought of a high payment has her waiting. At the current rate, a monthly mortgage payment on a $400,000 loan would cost about $800 more than a year ago.
We are just waiting, we're waiting to see what happens with this market.
Kennedy got his loan when interest rates were at a peak, but his plan is to eventually refinance.
So you're betting that interest rates will eventually come down?
Yes, correct. I think realistically, hopefully within the next 12 to 24 months, high 4s, low 5s.
But experts forecast mortgage rates can actually climb again in the coming months, then slowly tick down during the second half of the year. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.